What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Star Flag Media Gaming. Today, we need to talk about Valve's recent hardware decisions because honestly, they're starting to smell like 2015 all over again. The Steam Deck, the gaming PC in your hands, is struggling hard with modern titles. And the new Steam machine, well, that thing's supposed to be Valve's big comeback. Yeah, well, we're basically getting an underpowered mystery box that costs as much as an actual gaming PC. So, today I'm breaking down why the Steam Deck is failing in the modern gaming test, how Nintendo's Switch 2 is actually eating Valve's lunch, and why the new Steam machine is shaping up to be the next overpriced paperweight. And finally, why Valve keeps building hardware one generation behind everybody else. Valve marketed the Steam Deck as a handheld PC capable of real gaming. Not cloud gaming, not mobile gaming, real PC gaming. Except, really, it's not. Star Wars Outlaws, for example, that comes out. And the Steam Deck's response is basically, nah, bro, I'll sit this one out. The deck struggles to run it. Even at low settings, frame drops, blurry resolution, unplayable combat, the works. Meanwhile, right next to it, the Switch 2 at practically the same price point is running that game and other modern AAA titles that the Steam Deck chokes on. Cyberpunk on Steam Deck looks like you're playing through a fog machine at 30 frames per second on life support. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a frames per second whore or a 4K resolution need kind of gamer, but you know what? It's obviously chuggy. That's the difference here. Whereas on Switch 2, you're actually getting optimized, customized ports with stability, cleaner visuals, and more consistent performance than you get on the Steam Deck. The handheld PC can't run games on the handheld, which it's just crazy to me because like when you look at other handheld PCs, obviously they're more expensive, but they're way more capable. So you're getting the Steam Deck that can't really run these games, and meanwhile this handheld console that's really a I guess a highly powered tablet. That's what the Switch 2 really is, isn't it? Well, that can. Now let that sink in. The Steam Deck users also have to babysit their settings like TDP limit, GPU clock downscaling, dynamic resolution, their FSR settings, all just to get sub-console performance. On the Switch 2, you just play the game. And then you have to think about what is price to performance, right? The Steam Deck OLED is $549. The Switch 2 is what, $449? $449. But here's the difference. Nintendo is giving you highly optimized custom hardware, games built specifically for the device, strong AAA ports, better battery performance, better thermal handling, better frame consistency. When you get a Steam Deck, what is Valve giving you? Well, they're giving you a handheld with a laptop GPU from 2019, a device that relies on FSR like a life jacket, a system where every AAA title needs setting tweaks. Basically, it's a unit that can't handle any game that was made before 2024 or even 2025. And the more modern games come out, the further the Steam Deck is going to fall behind. It's not future-proof. It's not competitive. It's not even a real alternative anymore. At the end of the day, it is a good niche product for Steam enthusiasts. That's it. Remember the original Steam machine? Yeah, nobody else does either. But Valve apparently wants round 2 because they're releasing a new one and supposedly more powerful, supposedly modern, supposedly PC-like. But if you really want to break down the reality, Valve refuses to give the price. When a company hides the price for this long, when a system is right around the corner, they said early 2026, it's usually because the number is ugly. Every leak, every spec sheet, and hint tells us this thing is likely in the same price range as a PC running a 7600 XT. Now that's a $350 GPU. A very good one. It's capable. But Valve, they're using hardware that performs significantly below that. It's a customized version of it. Meaning you're going to pay the price of a modern desktop for the power of a mid-budget laptop. Nice. We already know the performance sits below a PS5 Pro and an Xbox Series X, according to those specs, and even Digital Foundry went deep dive into it. Now think about that. Valve is releasing a machine in 2025 that can't match consoles from 2020. That's a whole generation behind. The PS5 Pro has built-in, baked-in ray tracing pretty much, AI upscaling, huge CPU boost, and the Steam machine has, trust me bro, it's a PC. It runs Linux. It's Steam OS. Except it's not even customizable like a PC. It's locked hardware. It's pre-built like a console. A PC hybrid with console limitations, but PC pricing. You get the worst of both worlds. Fantastic. I love it. Steam is supposed to be the land of open PC gaming, and all these Steam fanboys are in the comments crying and downvoting and clicking the thumbs down button. But the reality is the new Steam machine can't swap the GPU, you can't upgrade the CPU, you can't meaningfully mod the hardware, you use a fixed form factor, it relies on whatever specs that Valve gives you. Like the only real customizability it gives you is like, okay, well I can swap the hard drive on it, I can give it more storage, which guess what? You can do that on the PS5 and on the Xbox. Hell, you can add a 2 terabyte SD card on the Switch too. Like, what are we talking about? It's literally a console pretending to be a PC. And at that point, why wouldn't you just, I don't know, here's a wild stat, buy a PS5 Pro for raw power, a Series X for raw power and Game Pass value? Or if you really want that portability, then hell, why don't you just buy a Switch 2? Or here's a real kicker, for that amount of money, an actual PC with real upgrade ability. Valve has this pattern. They hype a device, they release it underpowered, they pretend it's good enough, and the community has to mod and tweak / hack it just to keep up. The first Steam controller, that was a failure. The first Steam machine, failure. Index, overpriced and niche. Steam Deck, aging fast and falling behind. This new Steam machine is already outdated before it even launched. Valve has the software winning formula. Don't get me wrong. Steam is amazing as a platform for PC games. It's amazing. It's unrivaled. It's great. Their hardware, not so much. The Steam Deck was exciting when it launched, don't get me wrong, and you know, it's as a handheld PC, it really was a big idea, but the technology, as it moves fast, Valve just didn't keep up. The Steam Deck is not like a console where developers have to tailor their games to it, so honestly it is just falling behind modern handhelds. The Switch 2 is about to embarrass it in raw optimization, and in sales is not even close. And now Valve wants us to buy a Steam machine that's weaker than current consoles, not customizable like a PC, and priced dangerously close to a full gaming rig. If Valve doesn't step up the hardware game, their devices are going to stay niche collectibles, not real competitors. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments. Do you think Valve's hardware is falling behind? Or are people just coping because they already bought a Steam Deck and they really want this to succeed? Let me know what you guys think. As always, want to thank you guys for joining me here at Star Flag Media Gaming, and we will catch you in the next video.